Hi everyone, welcome to today's class. Today we're going to see the IFRS taxation around the world. Okay, and this the first one is analyzing the use of IFRS standards. So the assess of a progress towards the global adoption of IFRS standards. So we monitor the application of those standards in each jurisdiction. Okay, so the updates are made on ongoing basis. So currently we have completed the profiles. We have means the IFRS have completed the profiles by 166 jurisdictions. So use the filters to create a global perspective of the goal. So the links on the left side, because ifrs.org, it's a website. Okay, so this is a IFRS standard around the world. So the analysis is based on the 166 jurisdiction profiles which completed thus far by the IFRS Foundation. Okay, this analysis of 166 profiles overall the information, so which covers the commitment to global accounting standards and commitment to IFRS standards. So the extent of adoption of IFRS standard, so means which companies, which financial statements, the wording in author reports. Okay, same like that. So the analysis of profiles of G20 members jurisdiction, so group of 20, because in normally the G20 is a premier form for international cooperation on the most important issues. So on the global economic and the financial agenda. Okay. So the analysis of a profile by GDP, the jurisdiction we have a profile represent over the 98% of the world's GDP, and so provide an accurate picture of a global IFRS adoption. So the analysis of the profiles by number of listed companies of the approximately 49,000 domestic listed companies on the 93 major securities exchange in the world. So over the 29,000 use of IFRS standards, and only 3 countries account for almost every company yet to adopt IFRS standards. So these analysis of use of IFRS for SME standards, the information on which companies are required to adapt IFRS and whether these SMEs can also choose full IFRS standards or local standards. Okay, and the next one is developing and maintaining the profiles. So this IFRS use information from many resources. Okay, so to make our profiles accurate, our starting point is the responses by providing by the standard settlers and other relevant bodies to a questionnaire developed by us. So each profile is a drafted, then only the IFRS invite the questionnaire respondents from others. So this is contains each jurisdiction includes a summary table which showing the extent of IFRS adoption within a jurisdiction. So the more detailed information which can be found, there are the relevant jurisdictional authority, first one, and second one was a survey participant details, third one public commitment to global accounting standards and the IFRS standards, and the fourth one extent of application of IFRS standards by for profit entities, so by which companies, listed or unlisted financial institutions, so required or a permitted consolidated financial statements or a separate company statements. So the endorsements of IFRS standards means the progress, legal authority, a wording of the auditor's report which has the jurisdiction eliminated options, so which made a modifications. So the translation process of IFRS, and finally the adoption of IFRS for SME standards. So then how IFRS works. So the translation of our material is a vital part for achieving our missions to develop the single set of high quality global, which is accounting standard, okay, for the use around the world. And then unaccompanied standards and interpretation. So which means this is a list of all the latest unaccompanied IFRS, the standards and IFRIC. Okay, the interpretation they have produced by a language. So the list explains which year of the publication was created. So which access to the accompanied standards is free, but you will need to complete a basic registration in order to view them in IFRS website. So to further the mission, we have translation adopted and copyright team responsible for supporting the translation process, and the arranging copyright permissions and licensing for any reproduction of a translation. Okay, and the next one is, excuse me, IFRIC interpretation. So IFRS means International Financial Reporting. Okay, Interpretation Committee suggest. Okay, so IFRIC means International Financial Reporting Interpretations Committee suggests. So this stands for International Financial Reporting Interpretations Committee. So this is suggest and this appears. Okay, these are developed by the IFRS interpretation, and it issued after approval. Okay, so the issued of FASB and IASB projects was reviewed as well as the latest updates on IFSR. So which is IFRIC, International Financial Reporting Interpretations Committee. Okay, so meaning SIC and IFRIC is a difference. Okay, so mainly the SIC means interpretation given to any particular IFRS or IAS. Okay, so this IFRS interpretation committee, and for SIC serves as a clarification for any area in a particular standard. This SIC means Standards Interpretation Committee. Okay, this IFRIC means International Financial Reporting Interpretation Committee. Okay, so based on this, what we have to see in this interpretation. Okay, so because the IFRS Foundation provide free access through the basic registration to the PDF files, so this section also provide this following: the full standard with all accompanying documents which are available for a premium subscribers. More information about the provider for a free, you can visit from ifrs.org. Okay, so you can go through that. See, I have given the link to. If you need, I'll send in WhatsApp. Okay, for the link. So this is the link, right? So you can check out. So based on IFRS, you can check this ifrs.org website. So by this website, you can search for more. You will get more informations about this. So based on this, the first one is IFRIC changes in existing, decommissioning, restoring, and similar liabilities. So this, which means this is about mainly known as this IFRS standards require entity which initially to recognize its obligations, okay, to decommission assets or to perform environment restoration or rehabilitation, both of the as part of the cost of the assets and as liabilities. So this IFRIC, International Financial Regulator Interpretation Committee. Okay, so this is mainly address how an entity accounts for any subsequent changes to the amount of liability that may arise from. Okay, because the revision in the time and the amount of the estimated decommissioning and a restoration rehabilitation cost or a form, and change in the current market based discount rates. So these are the existing decommissioning, restoration and the similar liabilities. And the second one is shares in cooperative entities and similar instruments. Okay, so by this this is the cooperative entities and similar instruments. So this is based on IFRIC 2. Okay, so if a member of cooperative entity, so which has the right to request a redemption of a member share in the cooperative, so then the cooperative normally classifies those shares as a liability, and however the entity classifies those shares as equity if it has come to an unconditional rights to refuse redemption or a local law. So the regulation of the entity governing charter currently imposes prohibitions on redemptions. And for next is determining whether an agreement contains a lease. So this clarifies an entity accounts for arrangements so that meets a specific criteria as a leases, even though those arrangements do not take a legal form of a lease. For example, which includes some outstanding arrangements, telecommunication contracts, so which provide rights to capacity. So they will take or pay and similar contracts in which the purchasers must make specified payments regardless whether they take a delivery of a contracted products or services. Then IFRS 5, so which is rights to interest in arising decommissioning or restoration and environmental rehabilitation funds. So this address how an entity accounts of an interest, okay. So in a fund establish and decommission assets are to perform environment restoration rehabilitation. So this is how the entity accounts for any rights to receive reimbursement from such funds and any obligations to make a potential additional contributions. And the next one is liabilities arising participating in a specific market, which is the waste electrical electronic equipments. So this clarifies when producers of electrical goods they recognize a liability applying IAS 37 for the cost of the waste management, so which is relating to the future disposal of specified waste electrical and electronic equipments. Fine. And the next one is applying the restatement approaches. Okay. So under IAS 29. So this is the financial reporting in inflationary economics. So this is under IAS 29 we already know. So an entity, okay, whose functional currency is a hyperinflationary must be stated in terms of measuring unit current at the financial reporting date. So that is must be inflation adjusted. And for next one, reassessment of embedded derivatives, okay. So this clarifies an entity which must assess whether an embedded derivative required IAS 39 because are separated from the host contract and accounted for a derivative when the entity first become a party of a contract. So this is subsequent reassessment is prohibited unless there is a change in the terms of contract that significantly modifies the cash flow and otherwise would be required under the contract, in which case reassessment is required. Because a first time adopter must assess whether an embedded derivative is required to be separated on the basis of the conditions so that existed at a date it first become a party to the contract, unless there was a subsequent change in terms of a contract that significantly modified the cash flows. And the next one is interim financial reporting and impairment. Okay, so interim financial reporting. So this is an entity which does not reverse an impairment loss. Okay, so which is recognized in previous interim period in respect of the goodwill. Okay, and the next one is 12 service concession arrangements. So this concession arrangement is an arrangement whereby a government or other public sector body, so which is contracts with a private operator to develop, so that the operator maintain an infrastructure asset such as a road, bridge, tunnel, airport, energy distribution, network prison and hospitals. So the government controls or regulated the services the operators must provide using the asset to whom at a what price, and also concern controls any significant residual interest in assets at the end of the term of arrangements. Okay, so if the operator provides construction or aggregate services, so the operator recognizes an intangible assets to the extent that it receives a right charge user of a public service and a financial asset to extend the receives an unconditional contractual right to receive a cash in exchange for a service. Okay, so which is the relative disclosures. So if anyone need related IFRS related answers or some clarifications or for some notes for your projects, okay, you can go through this website ifrs.org. You can get more notes, more understanding. You can get the meaning, right? The next one is a 13 customer loyalty programs. So this is a main, okay. So this address the entity accounts of a loyalty award, so which credit the entire customers to free or discounted goods and services, because for example airline frequent flyer programs, because applying this 13 entity allocates some of the considerable consideration from the initial sale to the award credits as a liability, because in effect the award is accounted for a separate component of the sale transactions. Fine. And the next one 14 is the limitation on a defined benefit assets, the minimum funding requirements and their interactions. Okay, so this means this is limited the amount of a surplus which is arising from a defined benefit plan, so which entity can recognize as an asset. This 14 clarifies an entity applies those requirements to protect the pension plan participants. In many jurisdictions, laws contractual terms to require employees to make a minimum funding. Okay, and the next one is agreement for the construction of real estate. Okay, so this is with the timing of a revenue recognition by a real estimate developers for a sales of units such as apartments, houses. So the key question is whether a developer is selling a product or completed apartment or a house or selling a service. So the construction service is a contractor engaged by the buyer. Nice. And the next one is 16 hedges of a net investment in a foreign operations. Excuse me. So hedges of a net investments. So this is three main issues. Okay, the first one is the presentation currency does not create a risk exposure because to which an entity may apply hedge accounting. Hedge means which uses to reduce. Okay, and the second issue will hedging instrument. In a hedge of a net investment is a foreign operation which may held by any entity within a group or not just the parent. And the next one is an entity applies this IFRS 9. So what IFRS 9 we already found know reassessment of embedded derivatives, right? So this determine amount that needs to be reclassified profit and loss from the foreign currency translation. So which reserves in respects of hedging instruments. And the next one is distributions of non-cash assets to owners. Okay, so this liability or assets, okay, this is non-cash assets to the owners, so which used to take a cash in the non-cash assets. So the entity recognizes a liability when the dividend is appropriately authorized and no longer at the discretion of entity. So the liability is distributed and in which the owner has a choice of taking cash in lieu and estimated the chances. So in both cases, the liability and the remeasured of each reporting date and at settlement with the changes recognized directly in equities. Okay, and next one is 18. This is a transfer of assets from customers. Okay, so this is a transfer of assets from customers. So mainly this transfer, one sec. So once it means it is an asset from a customer which used to record a transfer of assets from the regulations. Okay, and the next one is a IFRS 19. So which means extinguish financial liabilities with the equity instruments. Okay, extinguish financial liability. So this means a debtor issues, so which is equity instrumented to a creditor to extinguish all part of the financial liability and the debtor de-recognize the financial liability fully or partly. And the next one is a 20 stripping cost in a production phase of a surface mine. Okay, so with regards to deals of a cost of a removing waste material to gain access to mineral ore deposits. So this is a waste removal activity known as stripping. So some stripping activity produces saleable inventory while also improving access to further quantities of a mineral. And the next one is levies 21. Okay. And the next one is levies. This is to clarify an entity recognize a liability for levies, so which is imposed by government tax, income tax, fines, penalties, So by applying this IFRS 21, an entity recognizes a liability when it conducts an activity that trigger of a payment, a levy under law and regulations. Okay. And for 22, foreign currency transactions and advance consideration. So this is which exchange rate to use the transaction. So which involve advance consideration paid or received in a foreign currencies. And the next one is uncertainty over income tax statements 23. Okay, so this is, it may be unclear because how tax law applies to a particular transaction in a circumstance, whether a transaction authority will accept company's tax treatments. So in income taxes specifies how to account current deferred tax but not how to reflect the effective on uncertainty, so which provide requirements that add to requirements, so which is in an IAS. Okay, so SIC we already seen. What is SIC? SIC. So what is IFRIC? So this means International Financial Reporting Interpretation Committee. So I is for IFRIC and SIC. I is the same for interpretation. Okay. So I means interpretation. So this S for standards. Okay. International Financial Reporting Standards, right? So S for standards. C for committee. So SIC is Standards Interpretation Committee. Right? So we don't have your these SIC, we don't have in syllabus. Okay, this FRIC2 we don't have this in syllabus, so just for reference I'm just teaching. Okay, so if you have any doubt, see, you can go through for any jurisdiction, adoption, copyright, so that you can get more informations. Okay, more thing, the committee materials IFRS, so that you will manage around the world. So what are, why the global standards occurring, and the update news and resources of IFRS you can get from that. So if you are doing projects means it will be helpful for you. And so from this class is over. We'll see you on next class. Till take care. Thank you.